All right, we are back with another tier list, and today, because it's almost a new year, we are going to be talking about the annual NHL Winter Classic. So today's tier, I'm going to be ranking every single Winter Classic jersey dating all the way back to the very first one in 2008. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that now. I do weekly hockey tier lists right here, so let's get right into this one. So the first jerseys I'm going to be talking about today is back in 2008 when the Pittsburgh Penguins visited the Buffalo Sabres, winning the game 2-1 in a shootout. Now, this game had insane attendance numbers with 71,000 people tuning into this game at Ralph Wilson Stadium, and the jerseys were some of the most classic I've ever seen. Now, when it comes to the Pittsburgh Penguins, I'm honestly going to put this in best of the best already. That light blue Penguins jersey is just so iconic for the team at this point, and I think it might be one of my favorite Pittsburgh Penguins jerseys of all time. When it comes to the Buffalo Sabres, though, there's nothing too special about it, especially if you've been paying attention to Buffalo hockey for a while. This is basically just their away jersey that they wear on a regular basis, but with a darker blue in the logo than what the Sabres use on a night-to-night basis. So I'm going to put it in the nice category because I like the jersey design, but it's nothing too unique for me. Next up, we have the 2009 Winter Classic at Wrigley Stadium, where the Chicago Blackhawks faced off against the Detroit Red Wings, where the Red Wings ended up winning 6-4. Now, this Winter Classic was ridiculous, and the jerseys were honestly super nice in my opinion. When it comes to the Chicago Blackhawks, I actually am a big fan of this. I've seen a lot of people talk about how it's kind of not too exciting for Chicago, but I think it's a pretty clean jersey. The off-white in the center with the black and red contrast and that old school Hawks logo, I think it's a clean jersey altogether. And their opponent's jersey is pretty much the exact same. I really like this Red Wings jersey. I think the Red Wings constantly are using the exact same design on their jerseys. So to see them use something that's a little bit more unique, in my opinion, I think they really hit it out of the park with this matchup. Both of them are going in the clean category for me on this one. Next Winter Classic, Fenway Park, the Boston Bruins versus the Philadelphia Flyers, where the Bruins win the game 2-1 in overtime. A thrilling game and even better jerseys for this one. The classic yellow Bruins jersey just goes down as some of my favorite Bruins jerseys of all time, and this one I really enjoy it, but I don't think it's the same level as the Pittsburgh Penguins baby blue, so I'm going to put this one in clean to start. When it comes to the Philadelphia Flyers one, though, I really wasn't a fan of this one. I feel like they could have gone out and done something a bit better. I don't want to put it in the same as the Buffalo, even though I think they're about on par with each other, but I'm going to put this one average at best. I don't think they did anything special when it comes to this jersey. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Washington Capitals, where the Washington Capitals came out 3-1 in that game. This was a great matchup and honestly one of my favorite Winter Classics to watch growing up, and the jerseys were pretty solid in this one. The Penguins continued with that nice blue trend that they had in the 2008 Winter Classic, but I'm still a bigger fan of the light blue jersey than I am this royal blue one. I don't think it's the same tier. The best of the best isn't where I would put it, so I'm going to put it down in the clean category as well, but I do think it's one of the better Penguins jerseys I've ever seen. Now, their opponent, the Washington Capitals, I don't hate this jersey, but I'm not a big fan of it. Some people say they really like this design, but I really wish the Capitals would just go back to their Screaming Eagle logo, and this one just kind of has the same vibe, and I don't really dig the stars wrapping around it, so I'm going to put it at average at best, but the Winter Classic game itself was so thrilling and entertaining to watch. Next up, 2012 Winter Classic, where the Flyers and Rangers faced off, and the Rangers win the game 3-2 on the road. Now, the jerseys for this game, I don't know if I'm a big fan of this Rangers one. I've seen the Shield logo that they put out this year as their third jersey, but this one, I don't really dig the off-white. I really feel like it just more looks like USA Hockey than anything, and the Shield looks really awkward. I'm going to put it at average at best because it's not bad, but it's not a jersey I would purchase if I was a Rangers fan. This Flyers one, however, though, I'm a big fan of this one. I actually like the design of this. I wouldn't put it in clean, and I also wouldn't put it in best of the best, so I'm going to keep it in the nice category. I don't know what it is about the Flyers jerseys. They just don't really innovate too much in my opinion, and I think they need to branch out a little bit more, especially when they get opportunities like this in the Winter Classic. Game was great, but the jerseys, not my favorite. Next up, we have the 2014 Winter Classic between the Toronto Maple Leafs and Detroit Red Wings, which ended in a shootout where the Toronto Maple Leafs come home with the victory. Now, this entire Winter Classic was just honestly the best of all time. I'm putting it right up there. The jerseys, top notch. The weather game, amazing. And the entire environment for this matchup was just a perfect winter classic. So the first jersey I'm going to talk about today is the Red Wings. I'm honestly putting this in best of the best. This might be my favorite Red Wings jersey of all time. The old school logo, the red jersey with the off-white stripes, honestly, it just looked perfect with the entire equipment setup as well. And I'm honestly going to go right to the Maple Leafs one as well. Both of these jerseys are hands down two of my favorite winter classic jerseys. They both go in best of the best. That game was just so entertaining and everything looked perfect for that winter classic. Next up, Chicago versus Washington at Nationals Park, where the Washington Capitals ended up winning that game 3-2. But the jerseys for this one, nothing too exciting. When it comes to the Blackhawks one, I don't really see anything too unique about it. It looks pretty much like any away jersey they've worn in the past 10 years. They do have a couple nice details on that, but honestly, it's just average at best in my opinion. Next up is the Washington Capitals. That maroon jersey, I'm just not a big fan. I'm just going to say it. Some people really like the big W with the Capitals going through it, but I just don't really see the uniqueness in this one, and I feel like the Capitals have way better jerseys. And whenever I go through these Winter Classic jerseys, if I like your home or away jerseys, or maybe even some of your alternates better than this, then I don't think you did a pretty good job. The game was fantastic, but the jerseys, not so much, just pretty average. Next up, we have the Montreal Canadiens versus the Boston Bruins, where the Montreal Canadiens ended up winning this game 5-1. So the game, not so great. It was pretty much all Montreal, but the jerseys in this one, some of my favorite. The Boston Bruins one looks insanely classic with that old school logo, the way that the sweater just fits. I'm putting it in the clean category for this one. And the Montreal Canadiens one has the same exact vibe. They did a very good job with these two jerseys, and I think this is the first time I've seen a Montreal jersey where they've actually branched out from their classic red colors. So I'm a big fan of both of these. They're not best of the best, but they do belong in the clean category. Next up, we have the Chicago Blackhawks facing off against the St. Louis Blues, and I just got to admit, this Blackhawks jersey just isn't my favorite. It looks way too similar to the previous year's Winter Classic, and I just don't see any innovation compared to their last one at all. Maybe outside of a couple logo changes on the sleeves, but everything looks way too similar. So this one's going in just bad because it lacks any kind of uniqueness. But when it comes to their opponent, the St. Louis Blues, they knocked it out of the park with this one. I love this jersey by the St. Louis Blues. I don't know if I want to put it in best of the best yet. I might move it up, but right now I'm going to put it in clean. It just looks so good. That color of blue with the yellow, it just looked great on those uniforms. I'm a big fan of this one. Moving on, we have another Buffalo Sabres game. So it's Buffalo versus the New York Rangers. This game was a classic one if you were able to tune into it. New York ends up winning this game 3-2 in overtime, and the jerseys, well, they weren't the best, okay? If you look back at the Buffalo Sabres Winter Classic jersey from the 2008 one against the Pittsburgh Penguins, you can't really tell too much of a difference between these two. And again, I just harped on the Blackhawks for lacking originality, and this is the same thing. It looks way too similar to their old school ones, and I'm just not a big fan. And when it comes to the Rangers, sure, they tried to be a little bit unique with this, but this jersey just isn't it, man. I want to put it in average at best, but I'm going to put it in bad just because I hate the way this looked on the ice. It just was not a good jersey in my opinion. So the game, really good, but the jerseys honestly might be my least favorite in the entire Winter Classic history. Next up, another good matchup between the Boston Bruins and the Chicago Blackhawks, but this time the jerseys, not my favorite ones. I don't know why. They just didn't really line up too well. The Bruins one is nice, but it's definitely not my favorite one that the Bruins have come out with in their Winter Classic history. I'm going to put it in the nice category because I can see how they went for that old school look, but compared to their previous two Winter Classic sweaters, it's just not as good as those two. But the Chicago Blackhawks one, I'm in between about this one. It's not bad because I do like that they tried something unique, but I just don't think this works when you have some nice sweaters like the Blackhawks do in the past, and this is the one you go with. I'm gonna have to put it in average at best. It's not as good as the Bruins one, and it's not as bad as those other three I have below it, so it can stay in this category. Next up, we have the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators facing off, and honestly, some people don't like these jerseys, but I'm a big fan of this Stars one. I don't think it's anything special, of course, but I do like that they tried to do something different. I'm gonna put it in the same category as the previous Bruins one, where I think it's nice, but it's nothing special, and the same goes with the Predators. Again, nothing crazy about this one. I don't think that it's a bad jersey, but I don't also think that it's a great jersey. I'm more inclined to put this one in the average at best though, because I like the Stars one better. So we're going to put the Stars one in nice and the Predators one in average at best. Next up, the Minnesota Wild facing off against the St. Louis Blues, and this one was a great winter classic. The Blues end up winning this one 6-4 in Minnesota, and honestly the jerseys were fantastic. This Minnesota jersey, people are very polarizing about it, and I'm going to just express my opinion clearly here. This is a best of the best jersey in winter classic history. Look at the design of this, the full uniforms with that old school tan equipment. You just don't get better than that, honestly. Same goes for the Blues. The Blues had a very nice jersey in this. The off-white jersey just looks great with their logo, and I'm putting that in best of the best as well. The entire winter classic was so entertaining to watch, and the jersey matchup just looked great out there in an outdoor game. Next up, we have the 2023 winter classic between the Boston Bruins and Pittsburgh Penguins. When it comes to the Bruins jersey, I think they knocked it out of the park. It's by far my favorite winter classic jersey that the Bruins have come out with, and I also think that it's one of the best jerseys in winter classic history as well, so I'm putting that in best of the best. When it comes to the Penguins one though, I'm just not a big fan of the Pirates logo, so maybe I'm biased here, but I think it's nice because I like that off-white gray sort of look that they had, but it's not as good as the Bruins one or any of the ones above it in this category, so I'm going to put it in clean for now. And last up, we have this year's winter classic between the Seattle Kraken and Vegas Golden Knights. And let me just say, I'm very excited to watch this game, but when it comes to the jerseys, I don't think that they're the best of the best that we've ever seen. The Seattle one is by far my favorite between the two. I think they did a great job adding that nice red. The stripes look great with the off-white, the light blue, and the navy. I'm going to put this one in clean, but when it comes to the Vegas one, I think it's a tier below that one. I don't think it fits at all with the other jerseys in the clean tier, so I got to bump it down to the nice one. I think it aligns more with those jerseys than it does any of the other ones above it. But here's my tier list for winter classic jerseys dating all the way back to 2008, so let me know which ones you guys agree with and which ones you think need to be changed, and comment some more tier list ideas if you want to see some new stuff in weeks to come. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.